What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another late night in the Brew Lab with me, Lone Fox, your Brewmaster-in-Chief. And tonight in the Brew Lab, I'm coming at you with the first of what I hope is to be a series of collaborations with another content creator. I'm talking about Ace MTG, brand new channel. He's rapidly rising. Absolutely love his brews and his style, and you know, you should definitely go give him a follow. Of course, I'm going to be putting links to all of his stuff in the video description down below, so go check him out. And of course, if you let him know that BrewLab sent you, he'll be very happy. And we're doing this thing where he's gone back into my archives of brews from the latest sort of month or so, and he's picked the deck that he liked the most from my videos, and he's going to showcase that on his channel and shout me out and basically do what I'm doing now for him. And I've done the same. So I've gone and had a look at his most recent brews, and I found one that I liked, and I'm going to be showcasing it on my channel and then shouting him out, etc. So a very light collaboration, mostly to do with the fact that I live in Indonesia and he lives in America, so the time zones are not very friendly. But we're looking at potentially in the future doing something, you know, live, where we both on camera, maybe co-piloting brews, you know, maybe challenging each other, but using our subscribers' brews, that sort of thing. And I'd love to also, you know, expand that to other content creators other than Ace. So if you are somebody who is in touch with another content creator, and you know, you're in conversational terms with that person, then please put us in touch, and I would love to start to do this more regularly on the channel. I'm also going to be doing a little collaboration with another longtime subscriber and friend of the channel, MTG Hillbilly. Absolutely amazing member of the community. You should all go give him a follow as well. He really deserves it. He puts in such a lot of hard work, and his channel is just like slowly creeping bigger and bigger. He recently did a reveal card for the anthology, I believe. So, you know, he's getting there, and he's in the early access with me. Real like friendly, big-hearted gentleman. Also from the States, though, however. So again, time zones are going to be a little bit of an issue, but I really hope to, going forward, start to do more of this type of collaboration with other channels, bigger and smaller. So yes, without further ado, let's jump into tonight's brew. Simply called Ace's Dragons. Of course, it's Ace's deck. And it's a Jeskai Dragons deck, but with a slight splash to fit in Rith. And I haven't obviously touched a single thing. This is exactly how he brewed it. And what I'm going to do with these collaboration videos is probably, you know, play them exactly as is for a good little bit, and then see if I can, you know, think of anything that I would change. Not, you know, to say that Ace's brewing is terrible or anything, or that he's made any sort of mistakes. It's just that, you know, it's just the nature of my... I always like to tinker a bit with lists and see if there's anything that I would have done slightly differently. But I really like it. It's essentially the Jeskai Dragons list with Zurgo and Ojutai from, you know, it did very well at one of the Pro Tours recently. But going a little bit, you know, slightly different direction because it's best of one. Most notably, there isn't the wedding announcement, and you know, he's brought in some cool like janky stuff, which honestly is right up my alley. So Sarkhan Soul's Flame is one of the cards from Aftermath, and it has not seen any play, and that's why I'm really happy to showcase it on the channel. I think it's pretty sweet. I mean, it's a 2/4. It's a fairly good blocker against mono red and that sort of thing, and then it reduces the casting cost of our dragons. And then whenever a dragon enters the battlefield, you get to transform him into that dragon until end of turn. So a lot of cool like synergies that we can do with that. I can just imagine playing him on 3 and then following it up with an Atsushi on 4 and then swinging straight away for 4 damage in the air. That's pretty freaking nice. And of course the same can be said of Zurgo and Ojutai. You can imagine playing Sarkhan, and then on turn 5, because of the cost reduction, you could, if you have Zurgo in hand, play it out on turn 4, and then, you know, it has flying and haste, but you don't, you know, so it's 4 damage, and then also Sarkhan becomes a 4, you know, it becomes an exact copy, except it doesn't. If you read it carefully, it says it's legend. Except its name is Sarkhan Soul Flame, and it's legendary, so it won't. The legendary rule thing isn't a problem, right? It's not going to force you to sacrifice one of them, so you'd essentially be swinging with 2 Zurgo and Ojutais and getting all of the benefits from this. For those of you who have not seen this card yet, it's pretty damn strong. Every time it gets in for damage, you get to look at the how many number of cards. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, one of them into your hand, rest into the bottom of your library. Then you can also return it to your hand. So it's going to have hexproof when it enters the battlefield until end of that turn. And of course, if you just keep bouncing it back to your hand, the next time you play it, it'll again have hexproof. And that is pretty amazing, especially considering my hated Sunfall being such a prevalent part of the meta. You don't want to be leaving your juicy dragons on the board if you can avoid it, and that's just going to be a nice way to like continuously pump out damage, you know, whether the opponent has Sunfall or not, and that's pretty damn nice. What else do I need to add? Well, okay, his reason for splashing green is to bring in Rith, which is also like a card that I've just been dying to play ever since I saw it. Dominaria United way back when, but I just could never quite make a brew that made sense with it. I watched, of course, Ace's video before recording this one myself, and he did mention the fact that it's really in here for the Ward 2 more than anything else, because it gives all of your other dragons Ward 2 when it's on the battlefield, so just making them a little bit harder to remove. Yes, there is some ways in the deck of getting to get, you know, for the rest of the text box to be relevant. So if a creature or a planeswalker an opponent control was dealt excess damage this turn, then you get to create a 4/4 dragon creature token with flying. Of course, we do have some spells that do damage, you know, Brotherhoods and Invasion of Tarkir, most importantly, and Play with Fire. So there is a way, there is a few different situations where that the rest of the text box will actually come into play, but mostly it's in the deck to give our dragons Ward 2, which is pretty damn nice. Of course, we got the legendary dragons from Kamigawa because they got their fantastic death triggers. Moonveil Regent was an interesting one. I've been trying to brew up some dragon stuff myself ever since I saw this list, and you know, we'll probably showcase a few matches with the what I've been brewing up towards the end of this video, so stay tuned. But what was I gonna say? The Moonveil Regent never really factored in. I never considered it, but it's actually, you know, honestly pretty good, especially considering we're gonna have potentially quite a few different colored permanents on the battlefield for when it dies, but also for just that card draw that you get off the Moonveil Regent. Very old card, I'm sure you all know how that one works. We've got 3 Invasion of Gobakhans, which are one of my favorite cards from March of the Machine, and then Make Disappear as our counter spell of choice. Of course, use it aggressively in the early game. Basically, we're trying to use this as a removal spell, you know, like against aggro, just make sure those creatures don't hit the board. And then, you know, Make Disappear gets a little worse in the late game if you don't have stuff to sacrifice to the casualty. But again, considering we have some of these cool like death triggers on our dragons, there is a situation where we could sacrifice a dragon to the casualty and get the death trigger and you know, force the opponent to pay more for their spell if they want it to resolve. And that's it. That's really all I have to say. Key takeaways for me, I thought was a little bit interesting, is the exclusion of the secluded courtyard, you know, the tribal land that you can play and then, you know, pick dragons. I may have put a few of those in, but considering most of the dragons are legendary, Plaza of Heroes also makes sense, especially considering Sarkhan himself is also legendary. But that's the deck. I think I've done enough talking. And I cannot wait to jump into some games, so let's friggin' do so, and hope we get a nice good run on the ladder with Ace's Brew. Oop, that's my one I was testing. I've also, you know, I thought like, okay, Jeskai is great, of course, Zurgo Ojutai, but what if we just don't play Zurgo and just like Because the mana base is, you know, Jeskai is... It's not great right now, the mana base. Let's see what they release in Eldraine in terms of lands to help with that a little bit. Because I'm getting a bit sick of playing the usual colors. I would like to be able to play Sultai again and Jeskai again and other color combinations that we haven't really had a chance to play since the Triomes. Or whatever they're called. Yeah, I guess Triomes. I'm going to just stick with that. Even though they're not the Triomes from... Okay, so now we're going to hold up Make Disappear for sure. Maybe it's... No? Okay. Ikoria. They were called Triomes in Ikoria. Definitely going to counter that. Just like... No card advantage for you, my friend, at all. If I can stop you from drawing cards, that is great. So, this is not a very good matchup, clearly. And since I have two Atsushis, I'm going to risk running them into a... I mean, okay, now let's go for the Tarkir. Then at least we have 2 mana open. If it's Make Disappear, we can... Okay, now this is going to be fantastic. I think that's 5 damage. Baboosh! How do you like them apples? Okay. Now that I see the Plaza, maybe it's not a control deck. There's something else going on here. You wouldn't want to play Plaza of Heroes in your... You know... Ooh. What? Cool. He taps out. So... you know, let's go with Rith. Because that's an immediate flip on the Tarkir next turn. And it's also... He needs to spend much more mana off of the Silex. And it's got the ward. Okay. Revelry's fine. Good luck. Oh, you ass. You ass. Of course he had it. Unbelievable. Okay. Zurgo, baby. Let's go. Of course, this triggers on battles as well. It's, you know, was part of the same set. So we can go and probably just grab a third Atsushi, honestly. Yes, I'll return that to my hand. With pleasure. He can now Karn Silex away my Tarkir if he wants to. But that'll also get rid of all of his little creature tokens. Let's see what he... Okay. This can only be activated as a sorcery, so we do get to have a nice swing in with Zurgo and Thundermaw in play. Let's see if he's got another Sheoldred's Edict or something like that. Yeah, sorcery, baby. Can't do it. That's okay. Wonder what the opponent's going for here. I really, so far, have just got no idea what's going on, but I'll take it. Of course, it's gonna be the Thundermaw. Anyway, you can just Karn Silex away that. Let's go for Gobakhan. Hells yeah. And definitely also gonna be returning Zurgo to my hand. How much mana we got? 4, 5, 6. Aha! It's a stinky, stinky, stinky mill deck. Why the Plaza? I don't understand, but whatever. I really don't understand the Plaza. That makes 0 sense to me. Okay, now we can go Gobakhan. Yeah, bye-bye, Jace. Nah, actually, you know what? There's no point. Like, this Karn Silex is just stopping us from... I mean, he can just... Yeah, okay. I mean, if we just top deck, like, one more Invasion of Tarkir, even though he's gone and, like, milled us a bunch... there's only one left in the deck. Wow. Freaking Jace, huh? Why? 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 doesn't have haste, so nah. I think I'm just gonna keep swinging with old Zurgo here. I mean, why not? Sure. He's got hexproof, so I'm okay with that. What a card, eh? Yeah, take a Plaza, because then we can actually just bust out Sarkhan and like maybe just bait out some removal or something and block something. Anyway, now if he doesn't kill it, we win. Just straight up. We got 26 lands, that's more than enough. I mean, 20, you know, cards in hand is what I meant to say. Yeah, this one's in the bag, guys, and we get to showcase the Sarkhan Zurgo combo. Oh, come on! Let me do the thing, man! Hey, game 1 victory! Very stoked, especially when I get to beat on some stinky mill decks, so very, very happy. On to the next one. Man, things like Indestructible and Ward just mean so little these days compared to, you know, even just a few sets back. There's so much stuff that just forces the sacrifice, you know, or exiles. It's pretty frustrating, but whatever. It is the nature of Wizards of the Coast. They kind of give different archetypes a little bit more time in the sun. Right now in Best of 1, like, you need to be playing like the most aggressive creature decks ever, so like mono white, mono red, that's really it. Otherwise control is just having its time to shine right now. It's control ruling the roost. IMO. Let's pretend that we're playing control. We're gonna get a turn 2 Gobakhan. Yep, boy. Freaking untapped land off the top was just what I was hoping for, honestly. So this is looking like... Oh, okay. Oh, let's get rid of one of those bloaty boys. Anyway, we're flying through the air. That is the last thing I was expecting. Bant Toxic. When I first saw that Spyro's headquarters, I immediately assumed something else. We play Atsushi out next turn. There could be counterspells here, though, especially that corrupted counterspell. That's pretty damn good, actually. He's probably thinking I've got a counterspell, so he's holding back his bloaty boy. I will check for... Yeah, it's... I mean, it's either Tamio's safekeeping holding up priority. But let's try. Let's play out at Atsushi and see if he's got the counter. Cool. Okay. Totally okay with that. Now we get to go Zurgo and swing at the Gobakhan, and then Atsushi can go face. Or maybe we just hold up Atsushi as a... Nah. Because then he gets the +1/+1 from the invasion. I'm cool with that. Hells yeah. Decline. In case you didn't know, it triggers on all the dragons. It's a fucking ridiculous card. I'm actually really looking forward to brewing more around this, and y'all have Ace to thank for that. Of course, double swing, swing-a-ding-ding. Really wish I knew what the hell the opponent was going for here, but we can't get rid of any of his creatures with our Tarkir because of Tamio. So I think the go here is to jam out Sarkhan and then hold up the counterspell. Ooh, there's also that option. I like that. I like that a lot, honestly. Yeah, I think we need to just get in there. Even though we're on 4. And then I'm gonna hold up the second Atsushi here as a blocker. I hope he doesn't have the counterspell now. So now we get the 3 treasures. And we can use those for make disappear. Woo! There it is. Now Zurgo next turn is gonna put a hammer in the... put a nail in the coffin. Yeah, sure. If you think that I'm not gonna block with my Atsushi, you got something else coming, my friend. Sure. Really, no biggie. That was the whole reason why I played it. Let's get some... see what we get here. I mean, if he doesn't have something in response here, we're just gonna back. There we go. Take action. Swing. And then let's put another Zurgo in our hand so that the Invasion of Tarkir is gonna put the final nail in the coffin. And we still got mana. Let's go 1, 2, 3. 5 damage face. Badoosh. Ooh! I'm having so much fun with this one, guys. Sure, we haven't really run into, like, the super-duper major, like, you know, top-tier decks from Best of 1. I wonder how this will hold up against, I don't know, things like mono-white aggro. I think still good. I mean, we got the Brotherhood's ends. There's all sorts of answers. I think probably the worst matchup we could be looking at is something like Enchantments, because we don't have any enchantment hate. The only thing we can hope for is a good counterspell on one of their, like, ossifications, or, you know, just removing something like Calyx from their hand with a Gobakhan. But I think probably that's the worst matchup. Even, like, mono black, super removal heavy, we've got all these cool, like, death triggers that I'm not, like, too worried about mono black either. I think Enchantments is gonna be a problem. I hope we get to at least run into one, so we get to see whether I'm right or wrong. You know, there's also, as always, the element of luck. I like Gobakhan too, but 2 play with fires and no red mana. I think we can mulligan this one. Okay. That's a really hard decision, but I think we've got the mana to play Sarkhan and then follow it up with a Moonveil Regent, and we can go Gobakhan on 2. Oh, there we go. Oh, and we got Tarkir back. Speak of the devil. So this is untapped. So let's go Rockfall first. Let's see if it's toxic or enchantments. So in that case, I think I'm gonna go for the Tarkir and just take out the Naturalist, and I'm not gonna show any of my dragons. This guy is just one of those must-remove targets, unfortunately. That's a lot less scary. Now we go for the Gobakhan, or do we go for the Regent? I think it's, for the Sarkhan, because he's going to have ossification, right? So let's go see if he does. There it is. That makes ossification cost 4, which slows things down quite a bit. Surely you should have played that out. Okay, no, of course. You get to draw. Well done. That was the correct decision. Has to be Sarkhan. Let's hope he doesn't top deck another removal spell. Then we can, you know, actually flip Gobakhan next turn. Oh, of course, he had the 4 available. Why am I so stupid? Whoops. First misplay of the night. Well played. Nice. I was really, really dumb. My apologies, guys. What can I say? Regent. That was really, really dumb. I'm sorry. I should have just been less talking, more focusing. I hate this deck. I really and truly hate it. It's one of my pet peeves. Like, there's really very little that I hate more than. Okay. That's cool. We just have to block Calyx. If he has a removal spell for Atsushi, I think we can just concede, honestly. I mean, that was a huge misplay. Poor Sarkhan. Freaking... Come on, Oonn Fox. What are you doing, mate? Alright. I think we can just concede. This deck is so frustrating to play against. He will get the hit in with either or, you know, so... Then he'll start to copy the freaking Audacity, and we're gonna lose. Such a dumb deck. Yeah, okay. Okay, so as expected, this is the worst matchup, for sure. Like, there's no way that we can kill any of the enchantments. We didn't top deck any of our, like, sweepers or early interaction. Play with fire, our Brotherhood's End, so what are you supposed to do? You know, ossification also, like, negates all of our death triggers on the legendary dragons, so it's just a terrible, terrible matchup. And I hope that now that we've proved that, we don't need to play it again. Thanks, matchmaking algorithm. If you could be so kind, I would appreciate not running into enchantments again today. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Usibu. Minta sama kadek. Dia ngambil dari uang Fede. Ya. Oh, of course. Sigh. Freaking Selesnya enchantments twice in a row when it's our worst matchup. Of course, right? Of course. At least we get to play Sarkhan. And let's just hope and pray that there's no ossification. I mean, that's really all I can say here. We can, if he doesn't have ossification, we can jam out Zurgo next turn. Whew. Was that a misplay, my friend? Okay. I'll take it, man. Like, that's freaking about as good as it gets. Like, just was not excited to have another game against enchantments, and the opponent just made a huge misplay. I don't know what the hell he was thinking there, so... Happy to just move on to the next one. Let's just pretend that match didn't happen. I mean, a win's a win. I'll take it. But, like, when you win off of such a bad misplay, it's really not anything to do with your own personal skill and everything to do with the opponent noobing out. So, it doesn't feel as good. But I'll take it. So, 3-1. Now, please, no more enchantments. Chalupa Cabra. That's a terrible hand. Wow, that's really not that much better, isn't it? I guess we just have to keep it. Yeah. Hopefully we get some white mana. I mean, some red mana ASAP. Okay, perfect. It's looking like control, though. Wow. Okay, should we risk it? Let's see. I mean, oh, come on. He's... I mean, this could be Jeskai Dragons, actually. We could be in a mirror situation here. Yeah, let's hold up Make Disappear. There's no point in running a Gobakhan into a Make Disappear of the opponents. Okay, now that we have 2 Tarkirs, I'm going to risk 1. Okay, he has no counterspell. Maximum damage. Who cares if we give away information? Let's try and close this out ASAP. This time you have it? Okay, Emperor's cool.
Keep watch for intruders.
What? What? I guess. I really don't know what to pick here. I mean, Chandra's a real strong card, but he's a ways away from casting it. We can protect against depopulate with our Gobakhan here if we actually get to flip it. Maybe like Soul Petition, actually. Yeah, cool. Some mana would be nice though, deck. Please, give me some lovin'. Opponent is just not having any trouble whatsoever. Needed a second red source. Do as you will. I am gonna use this up on your face, my friend. I just need to do something quickly for work. 1 second. Rapa.
Remember your training.
Ow, just not getting the mana that we need at all. Really frustrating. So we can go. Satu setengah. Money. Just needed one more red source, man. So annoying. Yeah. I don't know if to go face with this play with fire so that we can potentially, you know, scry up a land. It's too late for Sarkhan. Got too much removal. Okay. At least we get to play Zurgo. And probably just go for the... Let's flip the... Yeah. Let's go face, man. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, we can't. Oh my god, I've just noobed out completely. Okay, wait. as long as he... I mean, we go to 1. But then he can just hit us with Light Up the Night. Okay, good game. Just not getting the mana on that one. And I was a bit distracted from my work. Yeah. Well played. Jeskai Walkers. Jeskai Control. Jeskai... Yeah, Jeskai Control. Very nice. Mana base, not doing what I was hoping it would do in that match, I'm afraid. Like, just well behind on mana and, like, not the right colors that we needed to play our stuff on curve. Unfortunate, because I thought we might have actually been able to win that one. How are we doing for time? 35 minutes in. We got probably 2 matches left in us. Let's go. I want to play maybe one more with it unedited, and then I want to show you my take. I've tried to adjust ever so slightly and see. Let's see if my take is any better or worse. Yep, I'll take it. Let's go blue, white. Oh, this is definitely a Gobakhan on 2 type of a scenario. Let's get rid of whatever nasty things Mono Black is running. I guess it's gonna have to be the Go for the Throat. And then we're gonna hold up Make Disappear for the Graveyard Trespasser. He's thinking about leveling up the Sleeper or casting the Trespasser. Well played. So in this case, let's jam out Atsushi. Then, you know, even if he's got removal, we can get the death triggers, probably go for the treasures. And then we can use those treasures for a Make Disappear. Here comes the Go for the Throat. I would assume that that's his play here. Or if he wants to like add more to the board, I'd be quite stoked with that. Ah, pity. Yeah, let's go for the treasures. That way we can play Rith and get an extra dragon out of the deal. Because we're going to be doing excess damage. And that, I must admit, is a pretty cool, like, interaction, so... Thai cuisine, scent packing. Freaking nice, man. That was so cool. Okay, so like as I mentioned in the introduction, there is a chance to get the second bit of the text box there to be relevant, with like some smaller little creeps, and then you sweep with Brotherhood's End or whatever. Bam, got a 4/4 Ward 2 out of the deal, and that was just too much for the opponent. I guess he just whatever else he had in his hand there was not quite gonna do it, even though he managed to get us down to 8, which is, you know. I guess he just assumed we were going to end up swinging at the Gobakhan, and then it would have been impossible for him to remove anything else. Nice! 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 Alright, so that's Ace's take. Very nice brew. Like I said earlier in the introduction, please go give him a follow, show him some love, show him some BrewLab love. You know, go leave him some comments, go leave him some thumbs up, go subscribe to his channel. And I'm sure he would much appreciate that, and I would appreciate it if you did let him know that it was coming from me, so then we can really prove that these type of interactions are beneficial to both the subscribers and the content creators. and then we can continue to do this type of stuff going forward into the future. But now we're going to do my take without weird like other colors and just going pure Jeskai. And I've brought in a few different things here, slightly different take. I really just love the Shiva and Devastator. So I've brought in the Devastator, and I've brought in the Secluded Courtyard. I've put in 1 extra land, so we've gone up to 26, which is a lot, but I think I just never want to miss my drops here. And we've still got the Brotherhood's End. We've still got the Tarkirs and the Make Disappears, and like it's a very, very similar list, but little bit more interaction to deal with things other than just counter spells. So Fateful Absence is in. We've got the Nahiri's Warcrafting to help us flip our battles without needing to attack into them. We still, however, have the Sarkhan Zurgo thing, and I'm a huge fan of Elder Dragon War as another little micro sweeper. It also, 2 damage to face. This can just end games out of nowhere. Also, the card filtering on the 2nd chapter, reminiscent of Fable of the Mirror Breaker. And I just wanted a little bit more card draw, like just 1 of Silver Scrutiny. Maybe I could have done with more of those. So I just trimmed a few of the legendaries, but I think overall it's still really, really quite spectacular. And yeah, nice. Like, similar list, very, very similar, but just going a bit more streamlined with the mana base, so there's no green splash needed or anything like that. And I think the Secluded Courtyard might actually be a bad idea here, because there's way less creatures. A lot of our creatures are coming from our battles, like the Defiant Thundermaw and the dragon from the Elder Dragon War. So let me actually just cut that entirely. And then we'll stick with the 3 plazas, and then let's see what the auto mana thingy does here. And then now we've got space for 2 more. I think, let's see here. I think maybe we just need to bring in a little bit more. Well, let's just bring in some more basics, right? So like 1 white, 1 blue. There we go. I think that should be pretty sweet. Let's jump into some games. Final match of the night with my take on Aces Dragons. Dragon Soul. I've been doing some meld stuff again. Having some fun with meld again. Still needs some work, but that may end up being the next video on the channel. So if you're into some Urza meld, stick around. El Diablo 209. Sure. 1 more mana and we're pretty cranking out. So let's go Coast Forge Pass. It's like one of those little, like, almost superstitious things. Like, I always eat everything on the plates here before the game gets started, and give the little pony here a little clickaroo. Then I get good luck. If I don't do it, then I lose more often. Let me know if you guys have any of those, like, superstitious things you do down in the comments. So much control in the meta, baby. Boo-doo, boo-boo, boo-doo. What is going on? Found the land we needed to cast Atsushi, but it'll depend whether the opponent actually plays something now or not. Hey-oh, sorry Talia, off you go. Don't want you sticking around at all if I can avoid it. Now the question is, do we... Yeah, I think I'm going to risk it. Let's play out Sarkhan, so then we can definitely Zurgo next turn. Unless Sarkhan gets removed, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. Yeah, okay, so it's just 5-color humans by the looks of things. Hello, Denick, my boy. What do you reckon? I think I think I'm quite happy to actually go for Brotherhood's End here, because this is the type of deck that needs to, like, put bodies down quickly. You know, the less bodies he has on the board, the better. And Sarkhan doesn't die to Brotherhood's End, most importantly. So we can just keep postponing this Zurgo turn. Yeah, that really doesn't affect me much. And I doubt he's playing counter spells. So it's Zurgo time, baby. Let's go. Yes, I will transform my Sarkhan into a 4/4 dragon. And I will swing with both of them. Double triggers. 2 cards in hand. Looking at 6 cards from the top of our library. Gotta love it. I'm definitely going to take Tarkir. And I will bounce the actual real one. And here I will go for the Nahiris. Methinks. Decline. And then let's see if we can actually land this. I think what's holding up priority here is Hajar. Because he's got a sack trigger, but I mean a sack thing. Boom, boom. Skadoosh. What a deck, huh? Severely underplayed, I think, Jeskai Dragons is. Looking forward to sort of trying to refine this further, if at all possible. Okay, so this has got reach. But I think, if I've done my math correctly, that we can just go for... let's see. I mean, he's forced to block with the Halana. And then he can sack a jar to save her. Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Let's try this. And then we can hold back Atsushi as a blocker. No, it's only legendary creatures you control. So then we get to swing with Sarkhan and hold up Defiant Thundermaw and Atsushi as blockers, and probably block with Atsushi to get the death triggers, and then we should be fine. And I mean, he has to, I guess, block. I mean, he has to sack Hajar to give Halana indestructible. If he wants to block. Let's see. You can also play out the Pious Apparition, which is a you know, a flyer. Take action. Oh no, that was really dumb. But yeah, again, he has to do it, otherwise he's dead. Because now we got 2 Defiant Thundermaws. Okay, I didn't even see this line. It just kind of happened out of nowhere. I'm pretty damn stoked with how that worked out. You have to... Okay, he gives us the game. Woo, baby! That was a really cool interaction. The only thing, the key takeaway there was that Sarkhan loses his, you know, the rest of his text box, because he fully... Yes, I had so much fun in that match. You know, he fully becomes... even though the name remains Sarkhan, the rest of the text box is gone. So then we didn't get the cost reduction. I was assuming I could still play out Atsushi for 3 mana. And that's legendary, so with the Plaza, but then no such luck. And then he remains this way until the end of turn. So yeah, my initial line was to get the Defiant Thundermaw, then play the Atsushi and have Sarkhan turn into Atsushi. But of course, this is a dragon that's entering the battlefield, so Sarkhan could turn into the Thundermaw. That's such a cool interaction, because now you've got 2 Thundermaws and we got the double attack triggers doing 4 damage to face. Super stoked with that match. And that is going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. We've gone a little bit over time, but ending on a win and an overall positive win rate with some real fun, cool interactions using a deck that very few people are jamming on the ladder. I highly recommend you give it a spin. Jumping back into the deck with my final thoughts and overall review. I don't know, like, really cool. I don't, again, this is not to throw any shade on Ace, is deck building. I love it. It's a really cool deck. Like, it's really well built and well thought out. And when you watch his video on it, I'm sure you'll figure, you know, you'll get all of the reasoning behind his card choices and whatnot. It's definitely a well built deck. There's just, personally, I would go slightly differently. Like, Play with Fire feels a little bit underwhelming. Yes, you can go face. The Scry was handy in a few of those games, but maybe there's a better choice here for the Play with Fire. Rith was really cool there at one point, so I actually enjoyed that addition, but I just think it ends up making the mana base a little bit wonky for, you know, what is essentially really like a mono. I mean, this is really just like mono red. There's so much red pips here. But yeah, I mean, there's quite a bit of red, and if you consider the Plaza, I don't know. Please let me know in the comments what you thought about Ace's brewing, and again, like I've said now many times over the course of the video, please go give him a follow, show him some love in the comments, and I would very much appreciate it. But that is going to be it for tonight's gameplay footage. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm going to leave you with Dragon Soul here on screen. Maybe it'll get some creative juices flowing. I will be seeing you all in the next one, of course, with another fresh brew. And until then, this is Lone Fox from the Brew Lab, signing out. Peace, y'all.